Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I heard one person say, yes, I can hear you.
Ms. Lane, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay.
Are we ready, Shay?
Yes, we're ready.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's 7 o'clock. The meeting is now called to order. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Shea, can we have a roll call, please, to establish a quorum?
Here.
Here.
Present. Present.
Now we'll have the Board of Education norms from our Vice President.
As a cohesive team, we will remember to put students at the center of every decision. Pause after someone speaks to hear all voices. Consider and respect all opinions without judgment. Strive to assume positive intentions from all members. The board will honor the board policy related to the implementation of Robert's Rules of Order, Policy BCB. The board will utilize collective agreement to honor the decisions of the board, Policy BBF, School Board Member Ethics. Use collective voices to reach decisions, honor and respect the work of the board, honoring and supporting the board decisions at all times aligned with board policies and procedures. The Board of Education members will be prepared for meetings. The board will review the packet details and submit questions within the established timeframe. Questions at meetings should be limited and specific to information not presented in the packet details. No surprises at meetings. Extend courtesy for each member's questions. Members of the board will arrive 10 minutes prior to the start of meetings if possible. Administration will release board packets to the Riverview Gardens School District Board of Education within the identified time frame. We will not allow outside entities to dictate board actions. Riverview Gardens School District Board of Education decisions will be made based on facts, policies, and procedures, not individuals' opinions or requests. We will educate and encourage the community to follow proper protocols for voicing concerns, Policy KC, community engagement.
Thank you, Vice President. May we have an approval of the agenda?
Madam Chair, I so move.
I'll second.
I believe I heard an approval and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Any noes? The ayes have it. Now we're ready for Riverview Excellence.
Making this presentation is Mr. Ishmael Sistrunk, our Executive Director of Communications, who's going the wrong way. Microphone is this way, Ishmael.
Good evening, Dr. Patton, Board of Education, colleagues, and community. And I left my camera, so Ms. Liddell is helping me out to grab that
Oh, okay.
while I go. And just a gentle reminder for all of our board members, especially since Ms. Lane is on Zoom, please be sure to speak into your microphones, otherwise she will not hear you. But for today, for Riverview Excellence, we have several individuals, amazing individuals that we're going to acknowledge. First, if I can have Ms. Tracy Nave stand. And you can see Ms. Nave had no idea, and I didn't tell her on purpose, her office is next to mine, but she was nominated by Dr. Wendy Winfield over from Meadows Elementary. And Dr. Winfield writes, I would like to recognize Mrs. Tracy Nave for Riverview Excellence. As a colleague, I always held Mrs. Nave in the highest regard. Since she has become my supervisor, my admiration for her has only grown. Despite maintaining an incredibly demanding schedule, she always makes time to provide guidance and support. Her willingness to listen and respond thoughtfully speaks volumes about her character and dedication. As principal, having Mrs. Nave as a source of support is invaluable. She holds me accountable to high standards while demonstrating genuine compassion and understanding. Her leadership fosters both professional growth and personal well-being. And so we want to salute Mrs. Tracy Nave. She has been in the district for how long, Ms. Nave? 25 years. She has stuck with Riverview Garden School District at the high school, here at Central Services and other departments. And so we just want to salute you, Mrs. Nave. Thank you. You didn't want to say anything, Mrs. Nave? All right, next up, if I can have Sultan Muhammad, AKA Brother Self Love, come on. And Mr. Muhammad, again, many of you may know him as Brother Self Love. He has worked to support our scholars at the high school for the past several years. He really has joined up with our restorative team and helped to step in on individuals who, you know, may like a physical altercation here or there, may like to argue. He has stepped in and helped out in those situations and helped to restore our campus to peace. He's helped to mentor and grow these young men and teach them responsibility. He has been a big part of the all male summit that we've had at the high school. And then just recently, he held his, well, not his own, but he held a self-love summit, which was open to the community, also open to the young men at the high school. And he brought in several guests to come and speak to the youth, to speak to the parents, to speak to the community, just to promote peace and to help to grow our community. And so we want to salute you for those efforts. Also, I learned that he has been working with Lewis and Clark Elementary School, where he's taken the restorative team members there and started to work with our kids at Lewis and Clark and Meadows and LSC. I didn't even hear about all of those, but he's working from high school to middle school to elementary school and community. So we want to salute you.
Trust me, I'm in tears. You just don't see him because he just told me a few days ago. But some of the young men want to be here. This ain't gonna take over 2 minutes, but I felt it was very important to share with you all, to give you insights into what's going on. First and foremost, thank the amazing board, thank the superintendent, hold on, her community admin, and the Riverview Garden District community. Okay, this was today at 11:19 a.m. My mother didn't answer the phone. I called Trey, he didn't answer. Sorry, I couldn't make it. And thank you, Mr. Muhammad, for all the life lessons you threw out the year in teaching me to be a better at chess. Right, Dennis? Your text is proof you're getting better at your chess game, champ. This is me talking to him, because the chess is not just chess, it's real life. He said, thank you. I said, checkmate. I'm also going to summer school to get my creds back that I missed. Checkmate.
Mm.
Almost. What is the end game? That's me, to graduate. Wouldn't that be checkmate and self-hate? That's me just getting him to get me the answer. He said, yes, sir. I said, checkmate. He say, we in checkmate right now. Mate is when the king is falling. LOL. The end game is to checkmate self-hate, right? Yes. Let me hear it again. Checkmate, self-hate, game over. That's just, and that's just to show you what's being done on a whole nother level. So we checkmating self-hate in this room today. And to your question, can any good come out of Riverview Gardens? Absolutely right. See?
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next, SRO Officer Randall Dennis. Can you send that up? And Officer Dennis has been a SRO primarily at Riverview Gardens High School for the past several years. He was recently on TV. He was on the news. Officer Dennis received the Fox 2 News' Proud to Serve Award. The Proud to Serve Award honors local first responders, veterans, and active military members who make a positive impact on the community. He was recognized for his courage, dedication, integrity, outstanding leadership qualities, and work ethic. And at Riverview Gardens High School, he has displayed all of those things. He has really embedded himself in the high school community. Recently, they had a field day, which is a reward for students who had great attendance, great behavior, and good grades. He donated prizes for the students, and it was a good prize. You want to say what you gave? All right, he gave some good prizes to the high school students, as well as just helping to keep our students and our staff members safe anytime there's any type of issue that could harm safety. So we want to salute you for all that you've done for the high school and for just the positive impact you've made.
I thank you all. To the board, administration, to the staff and the students of the Riverview Gardens School District. It's truly been a pleasure to serve you all these past few years. And we've built some great relationships and made some great memories. So I'm gonna miss you all, but I thank you for all the support the past 2 years. So thank you again.
And last but not least, if we can have SRO Officer Ryan Richter come on up. And similarly, Officer Richter has been in the district for a few years. He has primarily been stationed at our elementary schools, and I believe Michelle Obama Early Childhood Academic Center as well. He was nominated for always providing and helping to keep the community safe. Just last week, we had an incident where there was some gunshots down the street from Lewis and Clark, and Officer Richter called for backup, and they reported, a couple of blocks down to make sure that situation was in order and to make sure that our students and our staff members are safe. And whenever we have incidents like that, Officer Richter is always there. He's always very communicative. He's always talking to staff. He talks to parents. He talks to students. And even not being in those situations, when I just go to a school and I see Officer Richter there, it's always a friendly face. He's always working with the kids, talking to the kids, being a positive mentor, and just supporting the school however he can. And so we want to salute you for all that you've done for Riverview Gardens and say thank you.
Everyone, thank you so very much. The board, the staff, the wonderful kids that have really opened my mind. When I first started with Riverview Gardens, I had not expected to have so many new, amazing relationships with just the community, the families, the students, and you all. So thank you very much for letting me take that with me. And we'll see where the journey takes everybody from Riverview Gardens. So good luck, and you'll be missed. Thank you.
And do we have other county officers here that would like to stand and be recognized? I see a group. She said, nope, not at all. Okay, well, now if we can have, let's see, we need to get our photos. So Mrs. Nave, you'll be first. Let's give them another round of applause. And that concludes Riverview Excellence.
Thank you so much. Ms. Shea, do we have any citizens who signed up for public comment? Can you hear me?
No, we do not.
Okay. So now we're moving to announcements. Do any board members have any announcements?
I do. I attended the graduation for the high school, and that was one of the most outstanding graduations I've attended since 1976.
Tell Mr. Williams.
Well-behaved parents, the students. I'm gonna put it on next door because it was just too outstanding in this day and time. You know, we hear so many negative comments about graduation. And the week before ours, a gentleman at the facility stated how horrible a previous graduation was there. But they commended us on ours. So we have to give our parents and students I want to applaud for what they have generated to Riverview Gardens. You don't hear too much about Riverview Gardens unless it's in this room. But I've come to find out this school district is going to go forward. I also attended the middle school. And you know, at the end of the school year, you've been in school, how chaotic you were at the end of the school year. But not at that middle school. Instruction was still going on. Kids were attentive. And I spent the entire afternoon there just going from room to room. So I applaud the staff here, the superintendent. I'm new on this board, but you have shown a lot that we're gonna go forward. Thanks.
Any other comments?
There aren't any more comments from board members.
Okay. I'd like to make some comments, please. To emphasize Board Member Williams' comments regarding the wonderful things that are happening in our school district. We have some changes that could affect our school district. And this is the kind of information that we need to have to be able to make clear-eyed decisions in moving forward. We get a publication called The Legislative Voice, and it is a weekly review of what happens on Capitol Hill. The reason I'm bringing this up is I listened to some Zoom meetings that tell us about what's going on in our district. And there was a board member who was so passionate that she felt that if citizens and parents actually knew what was going on from our state legislation offices on down, that we would be more involved. And she may be right, because other than before I was elected 4 years ago, I don't remember ever seeking any of this information out. I don't know if I knew how to find it or what, but as a board member, we get it. We get this information. So I'm going to encourage that we look at these policies and we share them with the community if you choose, so everyone can participate. So this meeting, I'd like to share 3 things that we read in our legislative voice. The first is the changes to DESE leadership. That we all know DESE is the governing body that reports to the State Board of Education. We have 3 turnovers in DESE in the last 30 days. The commissioner resigned effective June 1 after 2 years of service. The deputy commissioner resigned at the end of this month. And the DESE chief of staff, Emily, already resigned earlier in May. That's a lot of turnover in our governing body. So the State Board of Education will begin a search to fill these positions. I believe these positions should be filled by individuals who represent the full demographic of all the children in the state of Missouri. This is the time that we as citizens, parents, stakeholders should exercise our authority for an inclusive representation for the benefit of all of our children. We can do this by writing, emailing, calling our state legislatures and express our concerns and our recommendations, because we have highly qualified individuals who can champion not only Riverview Garden School District, but all the school districts in North County and other areas of the city. So we have the power to do this. I am told by a MSBA member, the reason why we had so little representation is because we don't ask for it. So now I believe is the time for us to ask for it. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the House version of the A through F grading system for school districts. We may have heard some of that. And for the citizens who are listening, if you haven't, this was a proposal, actually an executive order from the governor, that they would grade our districts with a letter A through F. The House version, it was just the matter of how they're going to implement it. So the House version of the A through F grading system seem to be falling apart due to detrimental trade-offs involving unprecedented expansion of charter schools. I'm just giving you the summary. But then the St. Louis Archbishop personally called the House Fiscal Review Chair and urged him not to support the new proposal because it would change the oversight of the most scholars part of the bill from the Treasury Department to DESE, and he did not want that to happen. So now we don't know how this A through F bill is going to be, change is going to be associated with our district. The last thing that I'd like to share is the Missouri legislature advanced changing the timing for St. Charles School Board elections from April to November, despite MSBA disapproval. And I'm quoting from the legislative update. House leadership had to metaphorically twist the arm of one of the more conservative members of the House, notorious for always voting no, to change his vote to yes. This is what happens when you have this kind of power and authority. We are trying to help the community become more involved and our district more involved. And Superintendent, you may have some more comments to make. Thank you all for your time. Okay, so now we're moving to a consent agenda. Can we have a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety?
Madam Chair, I so move.
Second.
I heard a move by Ms. Morrill and a second by Ms. Williams. Are there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. Superintendent, do we have our student representatives available?
No, ma'am. We handed them diplomas last Thursday, and they had the nerve not to show up for this meeting.
The nerve.
The nerve. They are done.
Okay, so then we're moving to your report.
Thank you, Ms. Lane. Just to piggyback just a little off of what you said relative to the DESE turnover. There is turnover, all of the positions that Ms. Lane has mentioned. And just to give some feedback, over the last 4 or 5 years, DESE has made a rule that it would be the average of the last 3 years, 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26, on how they would designate school districts come January of 27. So we have been working hard, Mrs. Sharp. Ms. Sharp knows because she's been in this, and we've been moving our scores. 2 years ago was 128.5. Last year was 139. We needed 140, and this year we are projecting over 150. Once you average all of those 3 years together, we will hit full accreditation, and that's all they've been saying. Well, all of a sudden they threw in about a month ago, oh, and by the way, Riverview Gardens has to do it 2 consecutive years. So I have a problem with that because that's not what you've been saying. It's not in statute, which means it can be changed. There are 2 major metropolitan school districts in this area, in Missouri, that did not do it 2 years in a row and was giving back their accreditation. So I am adamant that we will not take this laying down. We will keep pushing. We will keep pushing. We will write all the letters we have to because there seems to be a concerted effort to keep us where we are. And if we remain quiet about it, shame on us. So we are going to push back. I've already stood in the middle of a DESE meeting and introduced myself to them. Ms. Lane was with me and told them I would like to come and talk to you. I am going to go up and talk to them. They've invited me to come on, I think it's June 23rd. They didn't tell me I was on the agenda, but they invited me to the meeting. So They are going to hear what's going on. And I've already talking to the commissioner and the deputy commissioner. I'm gonna let that sit in the room. And they were all very supportive of me coming and talking to the board, the commissioner and the deputy commissioner. Okay.
Okay.
So we are not going to take this line down. My feeling is if you can give full accreditation, because we've been showing growth, just like the 2 metropolitan school districts that I'm referring to. But if you can give full accreditation to 2 metropolitan school districts that are affecting thousands of children, 10, 14, 16,000, surely you can give it to one that's supporting 5,000, right? So we will be there Ishmael is. We will be publishing a financial newsletter. We will put it out. We will put every phone number on planet Earth, every email, every address. And we are going to inundate them because if we sit back and allow this to happen, I can be the loudmouth, I don't mind. But if it's just me, it needs to be all of us collectively, not just in this room, but parents, people, our community members. This is your property value. If they build charter schools all around this area, your property value will decrease. So we have a collective, not only obligation, but a responsibility to the children of this school district. So I will move on from that because I will keep talking if nobody turns the mic off. Grading system. So let's talk about the grading system. Ms. Lane mentioned they want to give grades for school districts. Now understand that when we did the math, Riverview and school districts that look similar to Riverview will fall in the CD range, right? So you're sitting
Yeah.
with a CD. Meanwhile, there's a neighboring school that might have a B or an A. That looks good to parents because parents aren't thinking about the love and the care and the nurturing that Riverview Gardens gives. They're seeing, oh, look, that school is performing better. Well, that school also has a higher tax base. Let me say that. They're receiving more money. And so Riverview Gardens is doing it, but understand next door to a school district that has a C or a B or an A, where does that leave school districts that look similar to ours? They will start picking off our high-performing students and our athletes. And we cannot allow that to happen. So they are not thinking about school districts that look similar to ours with this grading system. What about the growth? What about the hard work? What about what we've been doing? So I'm not going to sit quietly on that either. So for those of you who think, oh, Dr. Patton is so quiet, she is not, and she will fight when it comes to children. So I'll say that. And finally, Ms. Lane, since you have me on a roll, changing the timing of the school board elections, there's a reason behind that. And what I will say to you all is there is a concerted effort to start putting things in place to take away the power of school districts like ours, just like our votes. Now I'm going to move on to the rest of my announcements. Ms. Lane, you shouldn't have got me started. I do want to take a moment and give thanks to those who have served. Thank you for your service. If you are in the room and you have served, can you please stand so that we can give you a round of applause? Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. I do also want to those people who organized, Mr. Williams talked about our graduation, which was just a beautiful sight to see. Our parents, our students, I expected them to do exactly what they did, and they did very well. So I do want to say hats off to our graduates and hats off to our parents. They were in there supporting their babies, and it was just wonderful. If you helped organize the graduation, please stand. Don't make me call you out. Don't make me call you out. All right. So hats off. Let me tell you, these ladies, they're dangerous. I was just simply leaving the room to take a walk down the hallway, and I was accosted by one of them. Where are you going, Dr. Pack? I'm just going, no, we need you in the room. Okay, I'm going back in the room. But let me say, I was joking, but you all have been doing that for years. The graduation, the organization of it comes off, you all make it look easy, and I know it wasn't. So everybody, Miss Rachel, the administrative staff of the high school, all of our counselors, everybody who was involved in that, I understand that that is not it's not an easy job to wrangle all of us in the room and graduates. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you all do. You make it look easy, and we know that it is not. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Give them another loud round of applause. We also have eighth grade graduations and kindergarten promotions going on the last 2 weeks. Tomorrow is a half day of school. So our students will, it's a early dismissal, let me say that, early dismissal. There is a difference between a half day and early dismissal. So we are ending our year on a high note with a great graduation of our seniors. Many of, at the last count, was about $11 million in scholarships. So hats off to them. That deserves a round of applause. They tell you about our students, but our students are awesome and they are applying for those scholarships. Tomorrow is a early release. High school 12:15, elementary 12:50, middle 1:30. That no, I'm hearing no. High school, oh, that's right. Okay, 10:40. High school 10:40, elementary 12:50, and middle 1:30. I heard something over there. Oh, early childhood 11:45. Dr. Williams, I'm so sorry. Whoever took my notes didn't write that, so I'm sorry. 11:45, and actually I wrote it, so I apologize. First day of school, nobody wants to hear this, so you want me to say it?
Yes.
No? Okay, I'll wait for that. I do want to mention, we also received, Dr. Ramsdale applied for a literacy grant that we received. It's called the High Dosage Literacy Grant. That will come to the board for acceptance during our next board meeting. But that will help us with our students who are struggling readers and who have a reading success plan. So that'll be, that will help them move forward. And then I have to mention the Last Dragon dinner that was hosted by Dan Forth, Mr. Lenoir, and Miss Goodman this afternoon. It was a great event. The food was delicious. The entertainment was even better. And we had to eat and run, so we were eating, running outside to get to closed session. So thank you for all that you have done. They wanted to close the school with the staff in a very caring manner, and they did. They gave out awards for retiring teachers. And so to Mr. Lenoir and Ms. Goodman, thank you for that. It was beautiful, and we are proud. And then let's take a moment of silence. We have lost a former family member, Lisa Sudemeyer, who was the she was the secretary at Gibson, and she recently passed. And so I'd like to take a moment in honor of Mrs. Sudemeyer. Thank you. Anytime you went over to Gibson, she was always helpful, always smiling, always welcoming. She left, I think maybe last year, and 2 years ago, 2 years, doesn't seem like that long. She left 2 years ago, and we lost her just a few days ago. So to her family, to her Gibson family, we give you our condolences, and to her family, we give you our condolences. Keep the school and her family in your thoughts. And then finally, I do want to also acknowledge our Riverview Gardens High School track team. Many of them have made it to state, and so we want to acknowledge them. We got Darian McLean, Jalea Lewis, Caitlin Smith, Anaya Price, Krista Coleman, and then the girls 4x2 and 4x1 relays. They've all made it to state, and we will be cheering them on. So I wanted to end on a high note. School year is over as of tomorrow, so make sure you show up tomorrow. So thank you, Ms. Lane. That concludes the superintendent's announcements. Would you like me to move into items for information?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you. Our first item up for information is the data presentation for the Riverview Gardens High School. Making this presentation is Ms. Barbara Sharp. She is the Executive Director of Continuous Improvement and the Title IX Coordinator, and Dr. Jared Smith, who is the principal of the Riverview Gardens High School. This presentation is in conjunction with Policy IA, Instructional Goals, and IGAB, Instructional Intervention. Ms. Sharp.
Good evening, Superintendent Patton, members of the board, colleagues, and certainly to this great community. Tonight, the Riverview learning community will hear a data presentation from our high school leader. This presentation is designed to communicate vital information about student performance, school attendance, celebrations, and overall effectiveness of the school. The purpose of the presentation is not just merely to share data, to share numbers, but in fact, it is designed to illustrate a portrait of the data and the decision-making that is going on within the high school. At this time, I kindly request that you hold your questions until the end of the presentation. Please receive Dr. Jared Smith, principal at Riverview Gardens High School.
Good evening to the Board of Education, Dr. Patton, District Leadership Team, colleagues and community. I am Dr. Jared Smith, the proud principal at the Riverview Gardens High School. Ms. Sharp told me to stick to the script. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna shorten the script.
Ms. Sharp will start inching toward that
She
microphone.
definitely will.
Okay, just so you know.
I'm gonna observe the 5 B's. Be brief, brother, be brief. Today's presentation it isn't just about the numbers, it's about our students, it's about growth, it's about consistency, and it's about the systems that we are building at Riverview Gardens High School. This data shows that our students, they're responding to the systems and the structure that we're building, and we're focused on building a culture of consistency, accountability, and student success. And of course, that is not something that I, as the head principal, can do alone. I have a great team that works with me. Last year, my first year, I had a great team. Lost 2 members, and I didn't think that I could have as good of a team as I had last year. But honestly, the team I have now, it's better. It's better.
I hope those former employees are not listening.
Honestly, I don't care. I mean, they good. They know they good. They know I love them. But this team, I think, is fit for where we are right now. So I definitely want to, and they definitely not watching. And I definitely want to, one of them down in Florida golfing. I definitely want to acknowledge the team. I want to start with my 9th grade principal, Mr. James Edwards. Stand up, sir. You know, 9th graders are freshmen. They can be a handful, and they need somebody that can get with them. And Mr. Edwards he definitely gets with our 9th graders. Our 10th grade administrator, Miss Cassandra Brown, who's actually returning to Riverview Gardens. She worked at Riverview Gardens for many years previously. And I was in a meeting today, and I promise I'm gonna be brief. I was in a meeting today, and one of our instructional coaches talked about how seamless testing went this year as far as EOC. Dr. Hunter, She's talked about it, and a lot of that is attributed to Mrs. Brown and the systems that she's put in place. I think we've had one of the highest completion rates that we've had in a while, and she's doing an awesome job. Our 11th grade administrator, Dr. Daniel Jones. And we all know that he was highlighted, I think last month for Riverview Excellence for receiving Assistant Principal of the Year. And he's up for Missouri Principal. So he won St. Louis Region Principal of the Year. And now he's up for Missouri Assistant Principal of the Year. And if he wins that, he goes on to National Assistant Principal of the Year competition. I mean, he's been awesome. We all love Data Dan. He's awesome. And then, you know, I don't know if I could do this job without my associate principal. She is truly my right hand. She thinks before I can even, we'll be thinking the same thing, and she'll come to me with it before I can go to her with it. So Miss Courtney Rachel, associate principal and principal over the seniors. She's awesome. She does an excellent job. I also want to acknowledge Ms. T-Jan, our college and career coordinator, who has put some systems in place and is moving our students forward in ways that matter. And also Mr. Thurwalker, our athletic director. And I also want—
Ms. Nave, she's not gonna let you do it.
And I definitely want to acknowledge Mr. Gregory Turner, who's over Success Academy, who's doing an awesome job putting some systems in place there to help move. And they've done some things this year that they hadn't done before. And so we're really looking forward to what they're gonna do even moving on. All right. So I'm done with that. All right. So we're gonna take a look at— how do I use this? Where do I point it? Press the down button. Okay. So we're going to take a look at attendance. It's going to go fast from here on out. I'm telling you, it's going to go quick. I got my notes. We're going to take a look at some attendance, ELA performance, math performance, some EOC data, and then our celebrations. So for attendance, one thing I want to highlight, if you look on the in the 25-26 school year, our 90-90 attendance increased from 41% to 49% from last year to this year. So that means nearly half of our students are now meeting that 90-90 benchmark. This is just a reflection of improved attendance habits and stronger student engagement. I want to shout out our PBIS coordinator, Ms. Chandra Webb. She's doing an excellent job with PBIS and really motivating our kids. And we're putting some systems in place even now, so that number is going to go up even higher next year. So we're excited about that. So attendance remains a focus area, but meaningful progress is definitely occurring. When we look at this ELA data, we see that multiple grade levels have reduced their below basic percentages. 11th grade decreased their below basic percentage from 43 to 33%. 9th grade decreased their below basic percentage from 40 to 33%. Our literacy interventions and our PLC data cycles are really beginning to move our students in the right direction. In our math data, our advanced performance increased significantly in Algebra 1. 9th grade moved, you can't see it under there, but 9th grade moved in advance from 6% to 15%, and then 10th grade it moved from 17% to 35%. So our students are really beginning to move beyond basic mastery into those higher levels of achievement. So in our EOC comparison, one thing I want to really take a look at is our student participation. Our student participation has increased significantly across several content areas. And like, for example, in Algebra 1, participation increased from 191 students to 278 students. Biology increased from 173 students to 281 students. What does that tell us? That tell us that, one, we're expanding access, which is an important sign of student growth. Because those students who are taking that test, that means that those students are achieving and passing those classes. So it's a sign of our student growth. Like I said, our common literacy routines, our PLC cycles, progress monitoring, this work is, we're moving towards long-term growth as opposed to short-term growth. And so we're seeing that in some of these numbers. We still have a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about where our numbers are. I took a look at our raw numbers for EOC this year, and I'm excited to see that EOC report this year. I think we're going to be doing the happy dance this time in the fall. So we're building systems, not just isolated improvements. Instruction is becoming increasingly data-driven and student-centered. And like I said, our goal is sustainable growth for every student. We like to end with successes, and I love highlighting what students are doing well and what they're doing right. A lot of times, like Mr. Williams said, we don't hear a lot about Riverview Gardens outside of Riverview Gardens unless they're trying to promote something bad, or they're trying to, do a news story about something that's not happening. But I love to talk about what is happening. And so if we look at this, 64.57% of our students passed all of their classes. That's 670 students that have passed all of their classes. That's something to celebrate. We have 872 students that have either gotten no referrals all year or have only gotten one referral all year. That's 84% of our students. So regardless of what people say about Riverview Gardens, the vast majority of our students are coming to school every day. They're doing the right thing. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're going to help us, like Mr. Williams said, move this district forward. The overwhelming majority of our students, they're making positive choices. Positive behavior is becoming the norm, not the exception. And strong relationships and clear expectations are driving improvements of our school culture. We know turnaround work takes time, consistency, and relentless focus. The encouraging part is that we already see those indicators of growth. We will continue scaling what works while strengthening our support systems. And at Riverview Gardens High School, every day matters and every student matters. And I'm done. I will now take any questions. All right, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Smith, I don't think I've ever seen you move so fast, so thank you. And hats off to the high school team, seriously. This is what I mean by we cannot lay down quietly. We are doing what we're supposed to be doing. And so hats off to the high school team on all of it, everything that's happening related to the academics, to student attendance. It's increasing. Nothing changes miraculously overnight. It is the work, consistent work, systems and procedures, loving, nurturing campus, students will come to school. So thank you, high school team. Our next item up for information is the program evaluation for student services. Making this presentation is, it says Ms. Deirdre Liddell, so I'm going Ms. Tuesday Jackson Beverly. She is our interventionist, our district interventionist, and this is in conjunction with policy IM evaluation of instructional programs. Jackson Beverly.
So good evening, Riverview Gardens School Board, Dr. Patton, colleagues, and community. Hopefully I can be brief because I do not want to be pulled off. But as social workers and counselors, of course, we're very wordy. We're talking all day. So first things first, we just want to, I guess I can click the button. Okay, first, I just want to start on the changes that were made. The first change, the district intervention coordinator it was vacant last year, but guess what? It has been filled. Yes. Yes, it has been filled. And it has been filled, but we also had some wonderful counselors come on board this year. One actually counselor was one of our UMSL PAC partnership interns, and she is doing an outstanding job, and so we are glad for that. This year also, the change that has been made, we partnered with MTSS, which we've always partnered with them, but this year we introduced a new data-driven monitor system. We implemented the SABRS rollout for grades K through 8. And this semester, it has given us some data on what is going on with our scholars, being more proactive, and so we're appreciative of that. We've also expanded opportunities for staff wellness and working with our Project Aware, maintaining the wellness centers throughout the district, making sure there's lotions there, aromatherapy, all those things where our staff can kind of get themselves together, regroup, and then go out and pour into our scholars. Our restorative practices, we know we talk a lot about that, but this year, what's been exciting, we have about a month and a half ago, 12 of our scholars were trained by conflict resolution to do peer mediations and to actually work with our restorative teams to help actually their peers actually be more positive in their choices. And so we're excited about that. Our 12 scholars, just like we had a couple scholars on the board as scholars, we know that they are very informative and they can help build the morale and the climate of our schools. And so we're excited about that. Building the college and career readiness this year, and I have been here in the school district, 18 years. We have talked about it. This has been in the forefront of our minds as counselors. However, this year, we have partnered and worked with the CNI and the administrative staff at Riverview Gardens High School to create career pathways. And we're excited about that for our scholars on next year. Yes, you can clap it up.
Yeah.
We know that this will also help our students connect coursework and real world opportunities. So we're excited about that. And then we want to also let you all know that this year we were able to have 10 of our in-district employees trained for the mindset safety de-escalation techniques for restraint and holds if necessary, but in a dignified, respectful way for our scholars to make sure that our scholars are safe and also the staff, and they will be able to train other employees. And so we're excited about that. So the goals and objectives this year, of course, we know that our students come with some of them come with different things, but they have been facing the traumas. And so we want to make sure any of the emotional and behavior challenges that they may face, that we provide ongoing therapeutic supports and resources for them. We want to be able to strengthen our SEL outcomes by using the tier interventions, which will be grounded in the data, ensuring that the students receive the right level of support at the right times. We also want to provide our SEL training and tools to help educators manage minor classroom challenges and maintain the positive learning environments. We know that this too helps the climate and culture of our schools. Early academic analysis, we want to make sure that the concerns, we know that sometimes we wait maybe for first semester to get overweight to be able to provide some supports or interventions to our scholars, but we want to next year strive to do that earlier, maybe first term, so our students, we know that they will be successful and have the stability and readiness to learn.
So tools and criteria that we use to evaluate, of course, Focus, which is our new system. It has been a transition, if I will say so myself. It has been a transition, but we are able still to pull our attendance data and our discipline data and all the data that we may need to help provide interventions for our students. Monthly team meetings are going on, whether that's through PLCs, our data teams, or our attendance meetings to receive that information. Their mid and end of year reviews with our partner agencies give us the insight on what they've been working on with our scholars, how it has been progressing. If there needs some tweaking needs to be done, we're able to see that. Calendars of activities and interventions, events that we've had. We had a wonderful event under Be Smart. That was the agency that came in that helped provide gun safety and boxes to our families, which we know, again, I've been here 18 years, and I hate to say this, but every year we lose scholars to gun violence. And so bringing in those interventions to be proactive is something that we want to keep doing. Our BASE and SABRS monitoring system, and SABRS, I know it may be asked, it stands for the Social, Academic, Emotional Behavior Risk Survey Monitoring System. So it is a questionnaire that we give our scholars as well as our staff to be able to, again, catch those students early that may be having some social and emotional issues or academic challenges. And then we also will use our IIR, or the Internal Improvement Report. Quickly, I know I feel you behind me. Success of our program. Now, this is exciting. All of it is exciting, but of course, we, as the Student Support Services, of course, we want to eliminate any obstacles or challenges our families or our scholars may have. And this year, this is my first year here in this position, but this year we were able to serve over $38,000 in checks to our families from 100 neediest cases. 38,000 checks. And that's not including the 20 other plus that received appliances, washers and dryers and refrigerators and all those great things. Our Shop for Cops work with our attendance incentives for our students' attendance. That is an attendance incentive for our students around the holiday season. Little Bit Foundation, we have school boutiques in our schools, and the kids are able to come in there and get anything that they may need. Many of them, oh, we need some socks, come in and get socks. We need whatever it is, we want to, again, eliminate the barriers that they may have, not feeling adequate enough to come to school. No, come on, sweetie, we got you. Toys for Tots, of course, that's our holiday giveaways as well, with the food baskets, Thanksgiving and the winter season, Christmas season. We actually partner with our surrounding churches and different agencies to be able to provide the giveaways. Okay, you all, food distribution each month at Gibson Elementary. We have markets that we can, even if it's not on the third Thursday of the month, if you're hungry in the community, we can feed you. All of those things. We provide all type of resources. Okay, opportunities and next steps. We want to do these. We want to expand our careers. We want to reestablish our MOU with Job Corps to expand the technical trades, deepen career explorations. We want to be able to equip our new educators for success, for social and emotional. Some of them are coming in. They may not be build relationships with our students, and so we want to help in those processes. Also, we want to continue our focus training to ensure scheduling, data reporting, and transcript accuracy. We want to do that, continue on that, and we want to strengthen our student outcomes through our social emotional learning, data monitoring system, and expand through 9 through 12 instead of K through 8. Any questions or concerns? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry about that. I wanted to ask, of the students that took the training to be peer counseling, how many of them are remaining or coming back for next year, like their juniors going into senior year, or?
They're trained 9 through 12.
Oh, okay.
And the next year that will go down to 6 through 8.
Ooh, okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to know, will the food distributions and the community-based markets be available during the summer months?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do our parents or families need to do to?
On the third Thursday of each month,
We will be at Gibson Elementary, and normally the student support team members will be there. Since many of us, of us who will work over the summer will be partnering with Little Bit, and they will be supporting. And so all they would have to do is drive up, and we'll put them in their cars, put the food in their cars.
Okay, what are your hours?
9 to 11,
All right, thank
and we
you.
can send flyers.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jackson Beverly.
Thank
Our
you.
next item up for information. Our next item up for information is the program evaluation for our Students in Transition program. Making this presentation is Ms. Stephanie Shumpert. She is the Student in Transition Coordinator, and this is in conjunction with Policy IGBCA programs for homeless students. Ms. Shumpert.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Dr. Patton, school board, colleagues, and community alike. I am Stephanie Shumpert. I am here to discuss the program evaluation for students in transition for the school year. Next slide, please. Or am I changing? All right. Changes that were made this school year. We had one change that happened in the school year, and that was our social worker went from being a full-time social worker in our office to a part-time social worker where she had to go out to one of the school buildings. So she was assigned, so we kind of shared her. And so she did 20 hours in each location. Our goals and objectives. Of course, our first goal is to adhere to the district's implementation plan and, of course, the students' handbook, remove the barriers to education for our students experiencing homelessness. We also identify our families that are in need within the district, including those who are unhoused and also living with relatives inside of the district. Another goal is to ensure that students in transition meet and/or exceed the district attendance goal of 90%. Tools and criteria to evaluate. Of course, we provide case management for all of our students that are registered students in transition, including documenting any necessary information that we get from the families for the staff as well as the leadership, just for their, information. As far as another tool is participating in the bid best interest determination meetings. Those are done weekly with Children's Division as well as some of the surrounding school districts, and that is for our students that are in foster care or Children's Division custody. Success of the program, or successes of the program based on data. We have required all families who identify as unhoused or residing with others in the district to complete the McKinney-Vento survey, which is our SID application. We try to make sure that we're communicating regularly with those families, making sure that we're updating important information, whether it's phone numbers, addresses, and things like that. Part of our job is to provide them with hygiene kits, toothbrushes, toothpaste, different things like that, school supplies, and also for our middle school and elementary students, we also provide school uniforms for them. Opportunities and next steps. We plan to continue working closely with our leadership in the district to reduce any gaps in services for our school, for our students, to support them as SIT students. We get a lot of emails from the different school buildings, just making us aware that, oh, we have a family that is experiencing housing or housing issues or homelessness, or there's a fire. We rely on the school buildings to share that information because they get it way before the students in transition office gets it. But once we get those emails or those calls, we make sure that we are there there, making contact with those families to provide any of the resources that we can and also get them to other resources in the community. Oh, wow. I think that's it. I went too fast. Questions and concerns? Anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So I was thinking, I know that the school buildings, will contact you and let you know when different things are going on.
Yeah.
Did you receive any support from the, municipalities? As far as, they know, cause they send, I know in Delwood,
Mhm.
they send staff around to keep the properties of homes that are vacant now trimmed or whatever. So do you ever get any calls from, like the municipalities to say, hey, this family, we know that they had kids at Riverview or whatever, and they're no longer in our, do you ever get that?
No, we do not, I have not
Okay.
received any of those
Okay.
calls. However, I will
Mhm.
tell you that I do receive calls from different school districts
Mhm.
that'll kind of let us know, hey, we have a family that actually lives in Riverview, but
Mhm.
they're down here in St. Louis Public trying to enroll their children.
Okay.
They didn't know where to go or who to call.
Yeah.
Can you assist? And
Okay,
so we
okay.
get those quite often.
Good, okay.
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
just wondering.
Any other questions?
Mm.
Concerns?
All right, Mrs. Shumpert, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam, go ahead, you can finish your thing. Look, Ms. Shumpert doesn't get a golf clap if everybody else got a, anyway. Madam President, that concludes our items for information. We can, if you'd like, I can move into items for discussion.
Please do, Superintendent.
Thank you. Our first item up for discussion is lawn care and grounds maintenance. Making this presentation is Mr. Gerald Freeman. He's the Director of Facilities, and this is in conjunction with policy DJF, purchasing. Mr. Freeman.
Good evening, Dr. Patton, President Lane, Board at Large, colleagues, and community. Tonight, I come to present the lawn care and grounds maintenance as an item for discussion. Our responsibility from the Facilities Department is to ensure that we have a welcoming environment as it pertains to our grounds, our lawn, and our service. So a request for proposal was posted on the district's website. This is consistent with board policy, and this was to provide lawn care services. At the conclusion of the bidding process, the district received 4 bids, of which 3 were sealed, 1 was unsealed. We used some evaluation criterion, and that was comprised, the criterion was comprised by myself and Ms. Rosalind Jones from the Finance Department, and we selected Muni Green Care Professionals as a contractor to maintain the district's properties. Should this be approved, the work will begin July 1st and will conclude June 30th, 2027. Ultimately, this is a 1-year contract with a 4-year renewal. And the scope of their work will include weekly mowing, fall and spring cleanup, lawn fertilization, hard surface vegetation and maintenance, tree pruning and/or removal. And something we added this year was the snow removal that encompasses all spaces at the high school. So driveways, parking lots, sidewalks, stairs, any ingress and egress points. With efforts to attract and retain families, our department committed to providing a welcoming and safe and healthy environment for students, staff, and community. I will oversee the management of the service provider and their operations. As it pertains to the budget, this is an impact to our budget at a cost of $198,426. If approved, a recommendation for approval will be presented at the June 9th Board of Education meeting. I'm available for any questions. Yes, Ms. Tisser.
Is this price low? Is this price,
It was on, Miss, yeah, it was on. Go ahead.
is this price lower than the last grass service?
No, ma'am. So our current contract is $163,345. This will be a variance of $35,081 over for this contract. So our current service provider actually bid excessively higher than the service that we've selected, but it's a $35,081 increase.
He said,
I need to understand. The one we use is cheaper than the one you're getting.
No, ma'am. So the one that we currently use, which is Nelson Landscape, their contract is $163,345 currently.
Uh-huh.
The company that we're selecting would be $198,426. That encompasses both the lawn and the snow. So it's $35,000 higher than the current service provider. However, the bid that we're presenting is the lowest of the four that bid. So in the documents that I've provided you, the first company gave us $170,678. The current company gave us $208,580. A third company gave us $173,531. And then the last gave us $183,685. And I'm only speaking of the lawn maintenance. You add the snow to that, and I factored 6 snow events, and that's on that bid tabulation that I've already provided.
So with the snow removal, that increased it?
So yes, $198,426. That encompasses the snow, six events for the snow, and then of course the grounds.
Because the last one didn't include snow removal.
So the last one did include snow removal. So the cost of goods, cost of services have increased. And so the company that is currently doing our service increased his bid as well. And he increased his to $208,580.
And then one other thing, you remember I asked you about the trimming behind the schools, trimming the grass?
Yes, ma'am.
Property?
Yes.
Is that included as well?
That's included, yes, ma'am. So we have a full scope of service for them.
you mentioned that, for the snow removal, they would only do the high school?
So yes, so currently, the maintenance department, the facilities department, we handle all of the snow removal on parking lots with the exception of the high school. Our custodial, in tandem with our facilities department, removes the snow on sidewalks, stairwells, ADA ramps, ingress and egress points. What we've chosen to do with this RFP was to contract all of the snow removal at the high school. So they will be responsible for the parking lots, paveways or pavement, sidewalks, ingress, egress points, ADA ramps, stairs, etc. So that's exclusive to the high school.
Right.
Our facilities department will continue to do the parking lots at the 12 other locations, plus transportation, plus central services. And then our facilities department, in tandem with the custodial department, will do the sidewalks, stairs, etc.
And the difference is, again, just for the, snow removal?
So the difference in total is $35,081. That bid tabulation that I provided will give you the snow removal breakdown, and they did it in increments of 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8 inches.
That's a pretty good price. Because I owned the landscaping business for 30 years, and that's what I did with snow removal also. And what they're presenting, that's a really good price.
All right.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Mr. Freeman, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you, Ms. Lane.
Okay, so did I understand you to say this was a 1-year contract with a 4-year possible extension, or did I misunderstand that?
Correct. It's a 1-year contract with a.
Now I can't hear him
Did his microphone go out?
because I heard him perfectly, his whole presentation until now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes, ma'am. So you're correct. It is a 1-year contract at $170,678. That's just for the lawn care. We add to that 6 events for snow removal, at the cost of around $27K. It is a one-year contract renewable every year for 4 years. And those
Do we have any idea what the projected increase would be from year to year?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? I think it went out again.
Okay, you're gonna have to use your outside voice so Ms. Lane can hear you. Ms. Lane, the microphone has gone out again. so
Okay.
that- Yeah. Maybe you should just hold it in, I'm not sure. Just, there you go.
Can you hear me, Ms. Lane?
Yes, sir, I
So
can.
yes, so annually, there's a 3% increase. So if we factor the 170,678, which is the contract for year one, year two, we would add $5,120.
Louder.
I'll get louder, so that'll take us to 175,798. Then year two, we would add, or year three rather, we would add a 3% increase, which is 5,273, which would take us to $181,071. Then we would add another 3% increase for year four, which is an additional $5,400. That would take us to $186,503, and then our final and concluding year would be an additional 3% increase, which would add 5,595, which over that 5-year period would take us to 192,098. That is just lawn service. We factored in this 6 snow events, and so if you take that bid tabulation that was provided and amortize that 3% every year, at 6 events, it'll give you what that total would be. It could be less than that if it's less events, more than that if it's more events. But we're only asking for the approval not to exceed 198,426.
So, and that's contingent on you being satisfied with the service that you are. I'm just asking, are we committing to 1 year or are we committing to 4 years in a
Committing
contract?
1 year with a 4-year renewal. So we
Okay.
can renew annually.
Okay. Do you have any idea why your current contractor overbid so much higher than his competitors?
I don't, but my read of the room was he perhaps thought that the other bidders were going to be higher. So we had a pre-bid meeting on April the 8th, of which all 4 of those service providers responded. So he knows them. I'm assuming, cannot verify, but I think he thought that his bid would come in lower.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
How many grass cutting are they predicted to do for the season?
It's 26 cuts per season.
One each month until July, and then it's every other month, every other week?
It's 2 a month. It's 2 a month. I know that's 24, and then so it's 26, but it equates about 2.5 per month.
So basically, it's like every 10 days.
Every 10 days or so, yes. And that's consistent with what we're doing currently.
Now, in the snow, does that also include when it's slushy?
So if we call them out, then it's going to be based on that bid tabulation, 0 to 2 inches. So anything that would impede us from opening school will be resolved through the removal of that snow by that lawn and snow service provider. So should we call them out, then yes, we would be paying, if it's 0 to 2 inches, whatever that fee is, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, et cetera.
Okay, let's say that we only had 2 applications of snow removal. Would it be prorated at that point?
It would be based on, so let's say that it is, let's use for simple math, $2,000. So if it's 2 applications, we would only be paying $4,000, 2 for the first application, 2 for the second application. Yes, Ms. Tiswood?
Okay, and the 3% increase every year.
Yes, ma'am.
Automatic. We just gonna give them more money every year.
Yes, it's a 3% increase annually. cost of services. So the cost of services for all of us are going up. So you factor in the cost of service for labor, the cost of materials that they provide. So it's a 3% to cover their anticipated increase.
I don't understand, but okay.
Well, and Ms. Hisworth, let me add in that we do have the option of not going with them as well. So it's a one-year agreement. We have 4 years that we can opt in or out. So if we don't like the pricing or we can get it at a reduced cost, we would work to do that, especially in light of what's happening with the budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Others?
Thank you, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you, hold on. Not so fast.
In contracting, I'm the type of person who negotiates. Was that contract negotiated, or you just say, well, I will submit this to the board?
So no, the terms of an RFP is when you open up an RFP, you provide the parameters of those terms. Those service providers bid per the parameters provided. And then we take the parameters provided and do a bid tabulation. This is what Ms. Jackson provided. This is what Mr. Williams provided. This is what Ms. Patton provided. This is what Ms. Coleman provided. And we take their their terms. So there was no negotiation. What did happen was some clarification. So one contractor, as an example, did not give us a breakdown of 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. And so Ms. Jones and I did meet with that entity to get clarification so that they could abide by the parameters set. But that's the only thing that we did. So no negotiations, just these are the terms, and we expected them to provide us the service cost.
So have you ever considered negotiating on this contract?
So I would have to defer to someone who knows more about RFP contracts, and so I'll defer to you. So no, we did not negotiate with them whatsoever.
And that's what, as a professional landscaper, we prey on people like you.
Oh, we prey on people like me,
Yeah,
yes.
the school districts,
Mhm.
different companies, because the lack of knowledge that people have in groundkeeping. So you submit your information, and I give you the price based on what it'll take me to fulfill that contract. I add 20% on top of it, and then I go buy the cheapest equipment I can for fertilizing. And I have a contract with them companies, so I make a mint off of the lack of information you know about groundskeeping.
So I beg to differ respectfully about the lack of information. So I have been in this role for a plethora of years, from NFL footballs to other school districts. So this is not my first go around or my first take concerning this. So I am knowledgeable and I am equipped, but what I have to do per board policy is go by the parameters of the RFP. And that's exactly what we did.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Our next item up for discussion is the Special School District Reimbursement Agreement. Making this presentation is Dr. Joel Ramsdale, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. And this is in conjunction with Policy KG, Community Use of District Facilities. Dr. Ramsdale.
Good evening, President Lane, board members, Dr. Patton, community. I'm presenting the approval of the 2025-2026 Early Childhood Special Education Reimbursement Agreement between Riverview Gardens and the Special School District, also known as SSD of St. Louis County. This is a routine renewal with SSD. While SSD holds the primary legal and financial responsibility of serving our preschool students with special needs, Riverview Gardens provides the physical infrastructure. This agreement ensures we are fully compensated for our facility expenses. For school year 25-26, the total estimated reimbursement to our district is $49,950. While these figures are initial estimates, The contract includes a strict true-up reconciliation policy. What this means is that the final reimbursement will be adjusted based upon actual verified end-of-the-year expenditures and invoices submitted by July 10th. This completely eliminates unbudgeted operational burdens on our district. The SSD reimbursement directly supports our college and career readiness goal by ensuring school-level resources are efficiently managed to support early academic interventions. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve this reimbursement agreement as presented, authorizing the estimated total of $40,950. Any questions?
Not necessarily a comment, but I am the vice chair of the Special School District Governing Council. And this is one of the things where you're talking about, they're going to really start, we're suggesting that the services are really screened to make sure that the amounts that are being paid, that they are being done. So I just thought I would just put that out there, that they're going to be looking at those types of things very closely.
Absolutely, and vice versa, because when I looked at the custodial expense that we're being reimbursed for, I don't believe it covers the full expense of
Right.
our custodian. Any other questions?
Thank you, Dr. Ramsdale.
Thank you.
The next item up for discussion is the district organizational chart. Making this presentation is me. And this is in conjunction with IA, instructional goals and priorities and objectives. Board members, with the closure of the continuous improvement department, we had to reassign responsibilities for that department. And so those changes are present under the item. I've also am moving to have a position move from curriculum and instruction into the school leadership and accountability department, have one moved from the student services department into the CNI department. And then the rest of the reassignments are a result of the closure of the continuous improvement office. The items are there, the justification is there. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing no questions. Board President, Madam President, that concludes our items for discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. So, next on our agenda is adjournment. May we have a motion for the adjournment of the meeting at 8:31 p.m.
Madam Chair, I so move.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Morrill and Ms. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming. Have a good evening.
Thank you.